Hi everyone, it's Grace. Welcome back to my channel. So the Supreme Court just ended the eviction moratorium imposed by CDC on August 26, 2021. This means that the first foreclosure wave officially starts. In last week's video, I talked about the Fed tapering talk and the reverse repo amount, which are important events to the exact point in time for the main market crash in 2021. To check out that video, click here. Before we begin, remember to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and click on the bell button so you get notified immediately when new videos are uploaded. Number 1. The root problem is that the rental assistance distribution is inefficient, and the cash flow circle is broken for quite some time. Since the pandemic hit in March 2020, there have been two emergency rental assistance programs, ER1 and ER2. ER1 is $25 billion that came into effect on December 27, 2020. ER2 is $21.55 billion that came into effect on March 11, 2021. The total distributed rental assistance from ER1 as of July 31, 2021 is $5.1 billion. And ER2 has not been distributed even until now. Some of you mentioned that some landlords choose not to seek rental assistance because it comes with certain conditions. According to the U.S. Department of Treasury, renters receiving rental assistance do have to prohibit landlords from eviction for non-payment of rent for 30 to 90 days longer than the period covered by the rental assistance. Then let's take a look at what exactly caused the inefficiency in the rental assistance distribution. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, for the week of August 4 to 16, 2021, 8 million renter households are behind on rental payment. Only about 500,000 households have applied and received rental assistance, and 2.3 million who have applied are waiting or rejected, and 4.9 million have not even applied yet. So we can see that the rental assistance distribution inefficiency is caused by numerous reasons. But whatever the reason may be, the direct result is the broken cash flow circle. According to the CARES Act by the National Housing Law Project, the first moratorium was placed on March 27, 2020. It was extended several times until the latest one to October 3, 2021. On August 26, the moratorium ended, so it has been in place for 17 months. This means that for the rental properties that are behind on rental payments and have not received a rental assistance, the cash flow circle has been broken for as long as almost a year and a half. Number 2, the relationship between landlord and renter is broken. According to the Mortgage Bankers Association, 13 states and DC still have local eviction moratorium in place while 37 states have lifted. So after 17 months of a moratorium, the relationship between landlord and renter is basically broken. Why? Renters that have not paid rent while the moratorium was still in place have an extensive non-payment rental history on their record. It'll be more difficult for them to reapply and look for a rental property again like they used to be able to do before the moratorium was first introduced. After the moratorium ended, now landlords have to evict non-paying renters, catch up with long overdue mortgage and property tax payments, and do costly repairs. Assuming that all this is done, now finding an accountable renter is more difficult. Some may choose not to be landlords at all because it becomes more complicated to find qualified renters and more expensive to maintain properties. Because the ecosystem that binds the honest and mutually beneficial relationship between landlord and renter is damaged. Number 3. Landlords that suffer loss from unpaid rent are basically just waiting for the moratorium to end so they can sell properties and get rid of the burden because they're fed up with the situation. As eviction kicks in one by one in 37 states, landlords have accumulated an extensive period of overdue bills. Let's find out exactly how much a landlord has to pay to recover from eviction and find new renter. I'll use the Miami real estate market as an example for the purpose of today's discussion, and Florida is one of the states that ended the moratorium. Now, households missed less than 6 months of rental payments are probably able to recover faster, and those that miss 6 months or more payments are hit hard the most. So let's focus on the households that miss 6 months or more rental payments. According to Rent Cafe, the average rent in Miami as of June 2021 is $1,800. Say an average renter household has missed rental payments from 6 months to 17 months. So the total missing rent payment varies from $11,000 to $31,000. Say the landlord evicts the non-paying renter and has to find ways to recover from the lost rental payment to make up for the mortgage, and do substantial repairs before putting the property back on the market to find new renter again. For the repair cost, I will use the rates provided by Home Guide as of July 20, 2021 as an example. In Miami, the hourly rate for a handyman varies from $50 to $80 if self-employed, and $75 to $125 if working for a corporate. Depending on the type of job, the rate also varies. If we simplify the cost by job size, small jobs such as cleaning gutter, toilet installation cost $50 to $250. Medium jobs such as drywall repair, door installation cost $250 to $500. And large jobs such as interior installation, floor installation cost $500 to $1,500 per job. Besides labor costs, there are also costs of materials, and a handyman may also charge a 20 to 50% markup on the materials purchased. With the current situation between landlord and renter, it becomes more complicated because a larger number of rental properties could have damages caused by intentional damages such as vandalism. According to Policy Genius, most standard homeowners insurance do cover damages like vandalism. But here's the problem. Since landlord cannot collect from renter for the period of non-payment, how can they pay for the insurance that's used to cover those damages? So the landlord who choose to do the repairs have to pay out of pocket. Landlords with low liquidity may deem that it is not worth it to do the repair because first, they can't use the rental assistance money anymore now that the eviction moratorium is lifted. Second, finding new renter is mentally and financially stressful. So dumping the damaged property by discounting price or going to foreclosure is the least stressful and time-consuming thing to do to recover from as much loss as possible. So if we count the properties with 6 months or more missed rental payments, at least 736,000 rental properties will be sold at discount price or go into foreclosure. Number 4, self-living households also face foreclosure problems more than before because the unemployment rate might be worse than you think. Let's take a look at the households missing mortgage payment. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, households with 6 months or more missed mortgage payment reached 1.3 million. About 2.8 million households are using credit cards or loans, which is not a good sign because those debts have to be repaid. Then let's take a look at the unemployment situation. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the unemployment rate is 5.2% in August 2021. The calculation of unemployment rate is the unemployed divided by the labor force participation rate. But the problem is that those with no job and are not looking for one are not counted into the labor force. So the actual unemployment rate might be much higher than 5.2%. The same report shows that 5.7 million people were not counted into the labor force while they currently want a job as of August 2021. And this number increased from 5 million since February 2020. 1.5 million people who can't work because of the pandemic are also not counted into the labor force. So the unemployment rate doesn't really show the whole picture. Let's take a look at the report by the U.S. Census Bureau. As of August 16, 2021, 38 million people out of 250 million people above the age of 18 lost employment income for the past 4 weeks, which accounts for 15% of adult population. The people between the age of 25 to 64 that experience income loss is 29 million, which accounts for 11% of adult population. Now that we see the unemployment situation more clearly, it's not that far off that the 1.3 million households are facing some degree of foreclosure. So we can see that from rent and income to mortgage paid by homeowners to property taxes collected by the local government to bank loan recollection and to mortgage-backed securities purchased by the Fed, part of the cash flow circle is broken, which triggers the first foreclosure wave. So here are my 4 reasons why I think the first foreclosure wave comes as the eviction moratorium ends. In the next video, I will talk about the Chinese government policies and actions to provide more insights for you. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.